Yeah, this is Bang Bang Ray Hill. Sorry about that. What happened is that the files got full up, so I had to take stuff out off my phone, yeah? So I can just speak to you again I just spoke to you about prisons and that. So I should follow through. It's just a follow through because it cut off quick. Yeah, and what I was just saying about when you go to the big main prisons where you're doing your bird, yeah, you go in there, you get all your nice clothes, you get everything nice, everything's brand spanking new, yeah. As I said, you go to your cell and people are being there, the swoopers are being in your cell, took loads of things out, but who cares? You just got to your big prison, yeah. It don't matter where it is. You're Isle of Wight in the main part of London, Leeds, Leicester, Manchester, Birmingham, all them big prisons, yeah. And they're all the same in the big prison. When you go there, the swoopers get in there, take lots of things. But you get prisons like Albany, where the beds are to the wall, all the furniture's to the wall. It's nice, you know what I mean? It's like a Schreiber unit. It's quite, as a prison, it's tiny little cell, but you're not in that cell for a very long time. That's why the cells are just so tiny. You're out most of the time, yeah? All you do is sleep in there and take your drugs and you drink and have parties in there. That's what it's all about, you know what I mean? And put your wedges on your door and all that, yeah? And so when you go there, there's loads of people you've met in the big prisons, you've met even on the streets and through your other sentences. They come straight to me, oh, how you going? You know what I mean? How long you got? You go, oh, I just got 21 years or I've got 10 years or whatever you got, you know what I mean? I go, fucking hell, what's that? You know, and you think, yeah, I remember this, mate. And was that you had done that way? I go, yeah, it was, yeah, oh, God, mate, you know. Anyway, do you need anything? You know, well, you know, we all need something when we go there, you know what I mean? So they come in and they give you tobacco. I don't smoke. You know, so I don't smoke, so they come in with food, tins of this, tins of that, everything they give you. You got a record player, you got a radio, you got this. Prison, when you go to the main prisons, mate, and you go in there and you meet your mates and people, you know, gangsters, proper gangsters in there, mate. And they come over to you and they give you, especially if you're a bit of a lump or a bit of a face, you've got a good bit of a reputation and this, that and the other. You know, people come to your cells and all that and give you your nice things, your niceties, and you get the ones that walk by you that sneer at you as if you're no one, you know, but obviously you've got to make yourself known later on, yeah. But you get all your nice clothes, you get your bits and pieces. As I said, Jackie makes all your bits and pieces for you. It costs you money, so you go on the visit looking crisp for when you go on the visit, yeah. But all your nice things you get, your food, you know, and you're fucking walking around, you walk around the wing and you think, oh, this is freedom, you know what I mean? It is freedom, really. It's crazy. It's just come from a main place. It stinks. You're 4 in a cell, 3 in a cell. You're pissing in the pot. You're throwing your poo out the window. You're not really living. You know what I mean? Now and again, you get good jobs. You might be lucky to get a 2 up. You know, of you in the cleaner or in the kitchen, but you're still a pisshole. You know what I mean? It's still cars and the screws in there, dogs. You know what I mean? But anyway, then you get to, as I say, your main prison screws are okay. They're good screws. They're not like grow. They just want a good nick, yeah. And then they open the back door. You go and exercise, and you walk out there, and you're out there for 2 hours, 3 hours, maybe 4 hours, yeah. And you're walking around the big green, and it's like in the summertime, you can't believe it. Everyone's playing cricket, you know. Laurie Mann was one of the best cricketers I've ever known. He had a bad leg, but he was a fantastic cricketer, mate. He could play cricket. Anyway, lots of people you get to know in there. You're talking around and proper people. I was to say a couple of names, but people are not happy with saying his name because they're saying what he's done to their brothers and all that. So I'll keep that out of it. But you meet some good people in there, mate, and you go around the main yard, the big green, and as I say, it's football, cricket, rugby, and it's just, you can't believe it. You're still in prison. You can't believe that you're there actually in a different environment. It's crazy, mate. Honestly, it's so mad. It's so mad. You've got your gardens, you've got people doing all your cabbages, your lettuces, your tomatoes, your cucumbers, your potatoes. It's mad. It's crazy. It's a different world. It's a different world. Even if it's prison still, but it's a different world. You can understand how people get institutionalised to it, you know what I mean? And then I never really went out in the yard much. I was in the gym. I used to go in the gym a lot. When people used to go out in the yard, the gym was open, so the gym was my thing, yeah? We'd be in there like 2 hours, and then maybe, if you're lucky, they'll let you out into the yard, because once they've done their count, they don't really like letting you out, you know? But in Albany, the back gate was usually open, so you can go out in the yard anyway. And it was nice. I used to run, listen, prison's mad, yeah? And I used to run around the yard, and people used to take me, woo, because I was can't get no air, but after a while, it comes through, and there was a screw, yeah, I was a big lump. I was in the gym all the time, taking the yeast in the drinks and all that, and getting massive in the kitchen, eating what I liked, getting really, really big. But I wanted to get fit, and so I was running as well. And there's this screw, I can't remember his name. It might even be the screw that's even giving me things on my comments, yeah. But there was this screw with glasses, and he was fantastic. Do you know what guts me, don't you? That I can't find the drawing that he done. And I kept this drawing for me for ages. I don't know what's happened to it. I must have left it in my other flat. But he'd done a drawing about that big, right, of me running around the yard, you know. And I got one calf bigger than the other, right? Well, I've been shot, yeah, but I still massive calves I had, and big legs, all the squatting and all that, yeah. And I was massive at the top, and he'd done this cartoon of me running around. It was fantastic. It was really, really good, yeah. And he give it to me, and like, I'll never forget it. And I kept it, and I thought, do you know what? That's like so nice. You know what I mean? Running around, at the end of me running around the yard, and at the end of the exercise and everything, he come up and said, "Yeah, it's going to have that. It's for you." And I went, "Yes, it's nice." You know what I mean? And he went, everyone's going back in. It's really, really good. Yeah, it's so prison is. You can do your prison work. You know what I mean? It's like you're not really banged up. You're only banged up for dinner times and for night times. But then you let out the greatest thing in Albany. Yeah, you got a button inside. As soon as you get in your cell, you press the button. Right, you press the button, and that puts you in a queue. In the queue to come out of your cell at night time. It's crazy. To come out of your cell at night time. It's mad, isn't it? I think it starts at about 11. It finishes about 12, 1 o'clock in the morning. It finishes. So if you don't get in that, you've got to get in and press it straight away, and you're in a big queue, yeah. But the ones that get out first usually come around your cells, your pals, and come in your cells, put a flask outside your cell, right? A flask of tea, or a flask of cocoa or coffee. It's usually coffee or cocoa, yeah, I mean, chocolate. And you can't, on a sandwich. It's not, you can't believe it. This is prison, you know what I mean? And then you get the ones floating about, like my mate Toby and other people floating about, and it's only on your spurs, yeah. I think there's 18 cells, something like 12 cells per landing, per little landing. It's a spur. It's free, like a spur, yeah. And then you've got a big glass cage that goes up to the landings, and everyone he can't get out. So you got to the right, to the left, and they're the only people that can come out on your landing as such, yeah. And it's terrific, you know what I mean? So you get to know your mates in there, and you say, right, on your landing, maybe I think it was 10 people, I'm not quite sure, 12 people on your on our bit of landing before we go around the corner. So all them people you'll get to know each other, your mates, and you get them knocking on the door, the soldier, give you sandwiches, you go cook your coffee. When it's my turn, I'll do the exact same thing. And then you get the ones that are taking the drugs, that are knocking on the door. Do you want something, mate? Do you want something? Do you want an acid tab? Fuck off. I don't want an acid tab. Do you want a bit of puff? You know what I mean? No, I'm sweet. Because I was in the kitchen, and I was up at 5 o'clock, you know, to get ready to go down the kitchen. Your door clicks, you know, you go down the kitchen, and you go down there, it's mad that you just walk through the whole of your wing, down all the stairs, and walk along and go to that big landing, big corridor I was telling you. You walk down. I'll never forget. You come by as you come out your our wing, C wing. You got the canteens just there for the whole Nick. Yeah, the canteen. Let me tell you about the canteen before we go on a little bit further. The canteen in these prisons, especially Albany, you could order anything. Listen, a lot of people in like Pat Adams, what's the name, Barry's, George Davis, other people that are big companies, lots of people in there, Peter Kelly, my mate, and other people, because you're getting lots of money sent in, you can order anything you like. And what a lot of these people do, yeah, because sometimes you can't buy canteen from this, that and the other, what they do, they send money into people for them to buy things for them so they get more things, more stuff. You walk in there, so they got a cell's like a shop. You know, Pat Adams, I'll never forget, his cell was like a shop. He had everything in there, yeah. And they go downstairs and they go to the canteen and they order whatever they like. They order like chicken, lamb, legs of lamb, beef, and it's mad. And then all of a sudden, they come, order it, put it in the freezer. Every wing in Albany, downstairs, usually sometimes on other landings, I have a big fridge freezer, yeah. Yeah, big fridge freezer, and everybody writes their name on their bits and pieces and throws it in the freezer. So everybody's like got their legs of lamb and big chickens in there and all their bits and pieces, you know, and steaks and all that. It's fantastic. You can't believe it, you know what I mean? And I thought, you know, this is mad. This is prison, and people are cooking. I think they had 3 stoves in Albany down at the bottom, downstairs on the ground floor. You had 3 stoves down here, 3 stoves. They had a big, you had a room where you walked into, was a freezer room. I think there was 2 freezers or 3 freezers in there, full of food. And then people go in and go, do us a favour, go to that freezer, get me this out, get me that out. And everybody's like Pat and other people who've got plenty of money at that time, and it's just like living a life, mate. They're living a life. They're getting their big meals every day, roast beef, the Yorkshire puddings, the cabbages, the baked potatoes every night, seriously. And it's like, Pat, you can't believe this is prison. You know, when I went in there and all of a sudden you got to know them and they got your mates, and as I say, I was always in the gym. I was very quiet, you know, in Albany, Peter Kelly, but then I started I was in the kitchen. Anyway, so in the morning you come down, you pass the canteen where you get anything you want to get, right? And you go down a bit further and you go through a big classroom and you get into the kitchen, yeah? And you go in there and it's like the first job they give me was on the wash up. And this is what you do when you go in the kitchen. The first job is you wash up, and you've got all your arms down here all raw with the soap they put into the water. It's very, very strong. It takes all your flesh off, you know. And I was in there in the wash for about 4 weeks. And believe me, it's nothing like it was when I was in Wandsworth or the Scrubs. You go in the kitchens there, mate, you're washing breakfast time, dinner time, you know what I mean, and dinner time, supper time, and you've got to come in later on to wash. You can imagine, there's maybe 4,000 people, 3,000 people, and you're washing. It's crazy, man. It doesn't stop, yeah. But it's now, they have still got washers, washing people to wash them, but they've got the big dishwashers, massive things, yeah. I mean, big people stuff in. But in my days, it wasn't. It was all like on the floor, all the big bowls. Oh, crikey, man, it takes them, and you learn so quick to do it. You got to do it quick because it comes like that, you know. And so you're washing up, and all of a sudden the peel comes up to you. he said, right, I'm going to give you a job in the bakers, yeah? And I got to the bakers, and first job in the bakers, you're the one that scrubs all the big dough machines, the bread machines, and you're the one that cleans everything, waxes, oils all the cans, greases all the cans up and everything, and you do the rolls and the bread. You learn to do the bread. It's a joke, isn't it? You become a baker, a proper baker. You do the rolls, you do all the bread. I wish I could show you how to do it, mate, and it's really good, yeah. And then I was in the gym, and then I met a couple of guys in there, big, powerful black guys in there, mate, and some white, massive. And they're saying to me, can you get hold of yeast? And I thought, yeah, of course I can, I'm a baker. Get us some. And I said, what do you want it for? Because I used to sell it as for people that want to do the hooch, yeah. But listen, let me tell you something. In prison, right, you can make the best drink ever. They make it using potatoes. Actually, potatoes, I don't know why. The potato peeling on the potato, it makes the best drink ever. You know, like Scotch, I swear. You know, people put the currants in and all this, that and the other, and they leave it for what, I don't know, a few weeks, and it becomes a proper drink, and they put them in these big plastic containers, yeah? And everybody's moving it around themselves because the screws are looking for it. The screws know it's there. Pardon me. So they're running around the landings, yeah, these little spurs, looking for it. But everybody's got hiding places in the, like in the toilets. They take the things off the ceiling and put them in there, and they've got other things and put them down there. You know, people in the gardens, hide them in the garden and come pick them in the dark. It's proper, mate. It's proper, you know what I mean? And then it's done, you know? And they come into me, I don't drink, but they give me a little bit, just whoa, what? It's strong. And everybody's having parties. Music. This is what it does, piss the screws off, you know what I mean? But it's a prison, and they allow it because they don't want no problems, they don't want no aggravation. You've got 3 prisons on that place, so they all stick together if it ever kicks off. You've got Campbell now is closed. You've got Parkhurst. I think that time Parkhurst was the Catley A, Catley B prison. Then you got Albany. That Yami did say to me that it would come up, but it must have been later on. It was an A cat, B cat. You used to get A cats in Albany. That it's still a B cat prison, but a lot of A cats used to go there because Albany was really secure. It's on the Isle of Wight, and it's really secure. But I think they made it an A cat. They was putting A cats in there when they put the hook. They put the barbed wire, not the barbed wire, the fencing around the prison. Before, there was no fences. When I went there in 74, 75, there was no fences, or none of that, or no prevent hook things going around the walls, none of that, yeah? Because they only Mountbatten put that up later on in his life, and then they become prisons within a prison, yeah? That's what it was called, prison within a prison, because you had the gate, you had the big fences with all the razor wire on top. It was illegal at that time to put razor wire around, but they pay a fine, don't they? They're not bothered. So you got the razor wire on the fences, and you got the wall with the hook thing, yeah, and it became really secure, really secure. That's when it become a lot of the prisons then become A-cats. It was B-cat prisons, but they took a lot of A-cats because of that, yeah. It was virtually impossible to get out, virtually impossible to get in, only through the front gate, yeah. So anyway, you know, and there in Albany, they had, used to be an army barracks, yeah. There used to be a big army barracks, and they've got a great big place in there where it's got all the army, and it had a big basement in there, and they had loads of rats running around. So they had a ferret party. They had people in there that had ferrets, yeah, and they had people that run around with the ferrets catching the rats. It don't seem possible. It don't seem possible that a prison can be like that, yeah. But Albany was one of those prisons. It was a good prison, mate. It was a good prison. Everybody just got everything they wanted. Visits were all right. Visits, crazy the visits, really, when you think of it, right? The visits were through, it's like at the end, as when you come into Albany, you come for the gate. Obviously, you come for the gate. But the gate is next to the visits. You know, the gate's there and the visits are there. It's like crazy. And they got big, thick walls with big, thick glass. But you can look out onto the outside. It's mad. You know what I mean? And you got to walk all the way from the main prison down to the gate to have your visit. And you're walking for all the security and everything to go to the visits. It's crazy. And you're looking out to the main road, to the car park. And you think to yourself, fucking hell, man, I'm out. I'm out of the main prison. I'm out, you know. It's mad. But, you know, there's no wall there. It's just the wall to the visit room, you know what I mean, with a big glass going through it. But, you know, you could never get through, you could never do nothing in it. It's like, as you say, you've got 3 prisons in there, Campill, Parkhurst and Albany. So the security, so if it ever goes off, they've got screws like it comes out of it. It doesn't seem possible that you can maybe have 800 or 900 people in the nick, you know, and you've got maybe 200 screws and they run it, you know. And it's what it is, isn't it? Because once you're banged up, you're banged up. And Albany, I loved Albany where it was a click on the door and you could just get out and see your mates and go and talk to them themselves and all that, you know. I told you about when there was a lot of LSD coming there from John and Parky Barry, and they put it around the neck on the wings. And Johnny Barry was on the right-hand spur to at where we was, and everybody had it by me, yeah. And they all were running around the landings. Like lunatics, yeah, like lunatics. And I come out of my cell one day. I did tell this. I've said this before. I come out of my cell one day, and I was 2 cells from me. I think it was 2 cells to 1 cell. I'm not quite sure. And my mate was in there, and I looked. All right, Chel. All right, Ray. Shh. What's up? He said, "There's a little little green man. Shh, shh, shh. He's behind my bed. Shh, 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 shh. All right, mate." And he was talking to this. He's on acid, isn't he? Like, he does, everybody's on something. And you get the ones in there that take it back, cut their wrists and blood level and there's screws running down at lunacy. Yeah. And he's going, shh, shh, shh. All right, mate. And he said, oh, he's Irish, mate. He said, he's got music in there. He said, the guy's dancing. Can you see him? I've got to say yes because then it makes him more paranoid. You know? So, yeah. Give him my regards. Says, I'm just going to the toilet. See him. No, don't go. I want to talk to you. I said, no, I've got to go to the toilet. I can't wait to get away, you know what I mean? And he goes to the toilet, and on the way back, he's banging the door. Wait, talk to me. I go, what's up? I said, look, I've been out 10 minutes, nearly 5 minutes. I think you're allowed out about 5 minutes, 10 minutes, something like that. And before the screw comes up the walkway and comes up and looks at knocks on the door. Wait, come on, bang up, Billy. Bang up, and you go, fuck off, right? And the next thing you know, the lick's closed down. But I have seen people in there, people that get on that acid and cut their wrists, yeah, and do silly things. There's more people there's a lot of people died in Albany, down to them sort of things. But, you know, and there's also people died in there on fires and all that. But anyway, I could tell massive stories about and keep going. Anyway, I've done 2 parts. I might do another one later on today or tomorrow. Anyway, so it's Bang Bang Mail. Please push the like button and subscribe. Yeah, nice one. Take care.